got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me.
Hey, welcome back to Piece of Chaos.
So deep in my
Guess what? We have a guest this week.
really a part of me.
My good friend Phoenix Ha joins the podcast this week, and we had a really, I don't know, it was pretty,
Under my skin.
I thought, an amazingly interesting conversation about social media, the state of social media, marketing, artists. She's just super smart and really knows her stuff when it comes to social media, and she's just really cool. We worked together on Brewing Comedy, the show I ran for a little over 2 years at Five Threads Brewing Company out in Westlake Village, and it was great to catch up with her. I hadn't really gotten a chance to talk to her since the whole pandemic thing, so it was great to catch up with her. I hope you enjoy the conversation, and enjoy. Thanks for listening to Piece of Chaos. Please give a round of applause. I don't know how this works. Please welcome my good friend Phoenix Ha. Enjoy. What's been going on since then besides, a global pandemic?
Yeah, this is the first time I've spoken about that situation, and it was really, look, I'm a firm believer in some shitty times blossoming and unveiling some amazing growth. And, I never wanted to work at that brewery. It's not even that brewery. I just never wanted to work in alcohol. I'm not a big drinker. That was like the anomaly to begin with.
Yeah.
I was going through a really traumatic time at that, in my personal life. A lot of things were happening, and Five Threads really helped me heal in many ways, including meeting you and Sam and a lot of people. I mean, I met my boyfriend there, who is potentially my forever, right? I met family there. So I'm very thankful for it, but it did get shitty. And I do feel like when people are pressed up against a wall, they have to make decisions. And some people are not built to make good decisions under pressure.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of the owners is one of those people. So I actually got pushed out in a very rude way, and was very angry about it for some time, but it was the biggest blessing of my life. I'm very close to still a couple of the owners, and we still chat. So it's not the whole organization. It was really just one specific person, but through that, I was bitter, but I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And I remember it was the day before we went on shutdown, or it was the day after, or the day of. I remember shooting a text message, and I don't even care about saying this now because they're closed, but I shot a text message over, and I said, hey guys, like, I'm back from vacation. I know the governor shut us down. I'm in LA County, technically. How do you guys want to proceed? And he was like, so sorry. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. We're going to have to let you go. This is all done via text. And he goes, but DoorDash is hiring. You'll do fine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why say that? Why add that part?
I think it was a dig. There was a lot going on at the time. And my personality is always to push, push, push. I want us to push to be better. I want us to put, and sometimes that's not received very well. Sometimes it is. And this is the build up, right, for the good things that came. So I feel that my personality probably didn't fit that culture very well. It wasn't right. It wasn't utilized. I think my potential was there. I just didn't know what I want to do with it. So fast forward, pandemic, I literally have no job. My roommate is terrified. We just signed a lease, and she's like, oh my gosh, she has no money. What is she going to do? And I'm of faith, so I'm a Christian. So for me, I'm like, Lord, like, what are you going to do? But also, like, it's not my problem anymore. Like, we'll figure it out. So I found different ways to help out the community and, like, be a consultant in marketing. And I was there for a couple different companies, and it was interesting. I learned small business to a whole other level, was able to always be provided for. I always had money. So, like, for example, unemployment, that paid my rent, right? And certain things happened. And finally, I made a decision. I said, you know what, like, why don't I just go back to school? And I decided to go into the EMBA program. And the EMBA program was, you couldn't apply unless you had 5 years under your belt of managing. So I was like, okay, let me petition because I had 4 years. And I, at the time I would think I was 26. So I was like, okay, let me just try it out. And I got in and it was really awesome. And then I got this random job application, I think on LinkedIn, that said paid search consultant or something like that. And I'm going to be so honest with you, Matt, I had no idea what that meant. I was like, oh, you're paying me to search things? That's cool.
I just Google all day.
The audience, right? Once the audience knows what my title is, you're all going to cringe so hard. Like that was my knowledge. And when I got interviewed, I don't know how. And I have like an extensive background in marketing in terms of like creative marketing, and I've worked with a lot of really big brands. So it's interesting to look at my resume and then kind of see where it hopped over. And I got interviewed for the job, and the person who interviewed me, she was like, I just don't think you're right for paid search, but would you be interested in paid social? And I'm like, oh, great. I get paid to be on Instagram. That's where my head, eventually went to. Again, so dumb. And I ended up getting the job. Again, I don't know how, no experience. And I told myself, like, this is the time to just go. And within a very short amount of time, I really caught my wings and was supported, was pushed, was challenged while getting an MBA. And I guess we are where we are now. And it really just was such an incredible experience. I regret nothing. I'm so grateful for all of it. I work from home. I love the people I work with, and I got to keep the really great relationships from Five Threads. So that's kind of the extended version, but yeah.
You know what's incredible? Like, first of all, congratulations, because
Thank you.
None of those things are like random chance. You earned them. I've always been so impressed with you in every interaction. Like,
very sweet. Thank you.
Just like, and you were much younger when I met you, because we started at Five Threads in, I don't remember the year anymore. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But we ran for 2.5 years before they shut down. So 2.5 years before that. So you were probably like literally just out of undergrad, like 23, 24-ish, something along those lines, maybe?
I was out of undergrad, so it's been 4 years. So I graduated undergrad in 2016. I believe I came to Five Threads in 2018 or 2019. So yeah, I guess fresh out of undergrad. You could see that.
But
say that.
Just, it's just a testament to your, just how you are. Like, when we met, I was like, because I'm not used to, it was so interesting to meet you and be like, she fucking gets it, man. Like, because I look at so many opportunities as just like missed for things, whatever it is, like just so many missed opportunities because, I don't know, people are afraid to do things, or they're lazy, or they just, but I always have to be like, I cannot expect myself from others, which is like, and I'm not saying I'm great by any stretch. I'm saying I know how I would do something. I see a pathway that's useful or whatever, and I'm like, well, why don't you just do that?
Right.
And, so I look at the opportunity to do shows like we did at Five Threads. It needs to be a partnership with this place that's trying to grow their business. I'm like, look, I will bring really high quality entertainment to you and like amazing opportunity to fill your joint with people and make sure they have a good time. Like, guaranteed they're going to have a great time. So, but I'm an old man who has a job, and I'm trying to just like build something over here. I will do my best to promote, but like, I mean, Sam was bonkers at promoting because he actually like went out and talked to people. There's no way I could do that. That was his part of it. That was amazing. And then that third part is like, okay, but it's your bar. It's your business, right? And this always boggled my mind in, music and in the band, because we'd show up to these bars in other towns and cities, and they expect that we brought people. I'm like, this is before the internet. Like, it's not our town. Like, what do you want us to do? Like, send everybody mailers? Like, it's your bar. Why are you counting on a bunch of idiots to provide for your business once a week? Like, you should have people here all the time, right? So to have you there to be like, oh, we're going to promote the shit out of this, and we're going to get on TikTok, and we're going to post little videos. It was just like, finally, somebody gets it. Like, the bar is responsible to make it look like the bar is the coolest fucking place to be all the time. All the time. Because that's how social works.
It's not always received well. It's really interesting. I think now, this is what I believe, right? When push comes to shove, you have to make a decision. And now small businesses and large businesses are looking at paid social and organic social in a way where you need it, right? But you're already 10 years late. So it's just such a sad conversation to have. And that leads me into, a lot of what I have to do now in my role is a lot of negotiation, a lot of tending to people's expectations. If anyone knows Slack, of course, that's a little Slack sound in the background. But it's tending to a lot of expectations. So, for example, I have clients that have never been on social media, or, for example, refuse to be on social media. I can't even tell you how many times I have this conversation. I sit down with them and they're like, Phoenix, I hate Facebook. I hate social media. I'm like, okay, yeah, me too. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm really good at capitalizing off of it. Yeah. Right. So, like, for example, on the organic side, you don't know anything about my personal life. Unless you really know me, you can probably understand a little bit of the nuances in the way I say things, or like what I'm trying to say or what I'm actually doing. But if you didn't know me, you would have no clue. You would just be like, oh yeah, she's going and doing things. Or, it's very curated. Yeah. It's what I want to share. And I always tell this to my clients. I'm like, what do you want to share? And it's the same thing with paid social too, is like, just because you don't like social media, it's like, it's not about you. It's the expectation now, right? So if we knew that the internet, for example, there's a lot of resistance there. If you know that your website is your hub, it's your new retail brick and mortar, but it's on the internet, right? It's a different platform. Why wouldn't you treat these social profiles the same way? Like, these are your secondary, third websites. And if you don't care about tending to those, the customer now is so conditioned to understand the lack of care. Mm-hmm. So if you don't care about your brand, why the hell is anyone else going to care about your brand?
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a fascinating, like, dynamic, changing constantly landscape to watch too. Like, it's just fun as like a study, right? But I do talk to people enough where I'm just like, dude, why don't you have this or that? Like, I hate that, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, okay, but that's where the people are. Like, right. TikTok's scary, dangerous, consuming, like addictive, crazy. But that's where the people are. And if you use it for good for you. You know what I mean? Like, I learned a ton of shit from TikTok this year alone, building this studio. Like,
right.
There's a lot of great shit on there. I learned because you start following Carpenter Talk, and you got people who've been doing that shit for 25 years that are kind of funny or whatever, and just like, yeah, here's how you do this. This is why it's easy, dummies, And like, I learned some like tricks doing electrical work and things that are just like, wow, there's all kinds of shit on there that you can't believe and is a bunch of crap. Like, did you ever see the one where the lady shows you that the pineapple hexagons are supposed to pull out of the pineapple? Yep. Lies. I was so angry. I was so angry.
Here's the thing about TikTok that I was like, okay, so do you know my whole journey with TikTok? Okay, you're going to laugh your ass off.
I know nothing.
You're going to laugh your ass off because you know me personally. So I'm going to tell you the power of TikTok, right? In a nutshell. And if this doesn't inspire someone to get their ass out of bed and actually create a TikTok, you're hopeless. I love you, but you're hopeless. And And hopefully this gives you hope, right? So when we were in the pandemic, there's a couple things that I did, by the way, Matt, and I think it's just to speak to like the eccentricness at least I have, but also just hopefully encourages people to think outside of the box because it worked out. So I'll start with TikTok. We were outside. I was bored. You can only work out so many times when you're in quarantine. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to create a TikTok. And I created a really dumb TikTok of me pulling a grapefruit off of my tree. And my neighbors, I have like these side walls, right? Because I live in like kind of a tract housing. These side walls are low, so I can see into the neighbor's yard. And our neighbor used to leave lemons on our wall, which was very sweet. Right. So I was like, oh, thanks for the lemons. I'm literally recording myself going, oh, thanks for the lemons. I remember getting off of my FaceTime with my boyfriend and I was like, I don't know why, but I have this gut feeling I need to do this. Got off of FaceTime, videoed myself pulling a grapefruit off and said, our neighbors leave lemons on our wall. I don't really plant things, but this is the one grapefruit we have. Pulled it off and I went, thanks, Anne. Hope you don't die. 1 million views. Okay.
Wow.
It went viral. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Right. And I was like, this is weird. And I'm a marketer at heart. So it wasn't so much of like, ooh, I went viral. It was like, why? Why did I go viral?
Yeah.
What was it? So I started testing things. I'm like, okay, is it my voice? Is it me being in frame? Is it me being out of frame? Is it the idea that I'm grabbing something and I'm telling a story? So we ended up having a full series on the lemons. Okay. We did that. Did another series on our housekeepers. Went viral again. Did another series on, what else did we do? Oh yeah, Bachelor Talk. Went viral again. I think that one had like 3.7 million views.
Whoa.
So I ended up getting like 58,000 followers and I'm like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And it was an ego hit because like I've always been in front of the camera. All the ones of me in front of the camera tanked. All the ones off camera did very well. So it was just this really cool equation. Okay. So that was cool. Learned about that. Then I went to Dubai, right, to speak for Affiliate World. And I'm sitting there, and I haven't been on TikTok in a while in terms of creating content. Sitting there, we're talking, and I meet these two girls, very wealthy, by the way. They're like 23 and they're making millions. And we're talking about TikTok and how they're on it. And they're both very, very famous on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, show me your videos. They show me that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I had this one stint on TikTok once. And I told them about my grapefruit video. And she goes, stop. Please fucking stop. And I'm like, why? She goes into her phone. She goes into her saved. And it's my video of the fucking grapefruit. I'm in Dubai, Matt.
Dubai. Yep.
That is how small the world becomes on an app.
Yep.
And that's incredible. And like that to me took me back and went, what the fuck, guys? Why are we not doing this?
Synchronicity.
Right? So someone, let's just say Matt Neal's t-shirt company, does a piece of content that is just, it goes viral. The virality happens on TikTok because of the algorithm and it's not steady yet, right? Similar to, and it isn't censored yet like it is on Instagram or Facebook. Mm-hmm. So the virality is what people are really capitalizing off of on TikTok for organic. So if you know that's an opportunity, if you create good content and you're consistent, why would you not be on that platform when someone in Dubai could know about Matt Neal's t-shirt company for free?
Yeah. It's bananas.
So
I'll tell you. So I'll tell you what's interesting is like I love talking about this. This is like the most interesting thing to me because it's so strange, right? But like I literally don't go into these things hard because I am not prepared to be successful at them. Like I can't quit my job because I know it's temporary too. Like it's like, I think I could do it. I think I could do it really well if that's what I concentrated on. Cause I so get what you're saying. It's like, you're leaving money on the table. Like you have something to sell or art that deserves to be out in the world here, like musicians here. Like, why aren't you doing this constantly? Right. There's definitely fear involved for sure. And also like, I don't like, I've realized through this, like Jacob Givens, you remember him? He was on the show a bunch of times. Great comic.
Yes.
He went viral on TikTok too with his 90s videos. He's doing amazing. But I was just like, man, he had to like establish these boundaries pretty quick because there's just too many people and people are insane. You know, like
And
there's
that's where I
that
would
part.
push you,
There's that
Matt.
part of it too.
Oh, for sure. But that's where I would push you, right? So we're adults. I think the virality for kids and like teenagers, toxic, extremely toxic. And unless they
Yeah.
have really strong adult figures near them or around them, it's
Yeah.
insane. But now as an adult, I look at things very differently. So for example, the fear of going viral. Never thought I would have it, had it, didn't know what to think, and you get this pressure of creating content, etc. However, now we think too small. We think, okay, TikTok. The people who are the most successful don't think small. They think big, right? They know TikTok's a platform, but how do they make themselves into a household name?
Yeah.
Right? So Bella Roach did it. A lot of people did it. They know that they're not going to make their money on TikTok because I was a TikTok creator. I made $100 and I had
Yeah.
multiple videos that went viral. You're not going to make money there. You're making money off of sponsorships and deals.
Yeah.
So a really great case study is Ricky Thompson. Ricky Thompson is a guy who went viral, I think, on both Instagram and TikTok of just creating these weird videos of him yelling at the camera and dancing. Ricky Thompson is now doing deals with Coach. He's never not busy. I think that's his slogan now. And he makes a good chunk of change because he knows how to negotiate and do things, and he knows how to, like you said, set those boundaries. But what is the big picture here? What are we really trying to do? What platforms are you capitalizing on? And that's the number one thing we need to do is instead of getting so in our heads about our actually some of the people that I think are the most successful are the ones that do things consistently. And it doesn't require creativity necessarily. And it doesn't require your heart and soul being involved. Because when your heart and soul is involved, you take things very personal. So it's like, for example, I have a friend of mine, and he literally just responds to videos. And I think he has over 1 million followers now. When I first started, I had more than him, and I gave him some tips. He did his own thing and did way better because that's awesome. And he just responds to videos. That's his consistency.
Yeah.
And that's all he does. And he makes a shit ton of money from collabs because a lot of people know that it's going to go viral. So for me, it's like, how do you work smarter, not harder?
Yeah,
and then
for
you're
sure.
saying, I don't want to quit my job, or I can't quit my job. Well, who's to say you can't? What do you want to spend your time with? And there's no guarantee you're going to be successful. So why not fucking try? And then if you do end up becoming successful, then we'll go and approach that hurdle when it comes. Right?
I have a plan. I'm still studying. Let's put it that way. But I'm also cognizant that all right, well, how long does this platform have for this much power for free? Maybe better get started before that.
You said it yourself in the beginning of this podcast, right? You're like, you're like talking about the brewery and you're like, why can't you just do it? Just do it. Like, what is the fear? It's the same thing here. And you're right. Like, you're already days late, years late, right? I had these two friends that were very, very famous on YouTube and on Instagram. They were on TikTok before the pandemic, and they had millions of followers then. And now, right, see where they are now. It's the same thing. But TikTok has this really cool ability for you to go viral immediately. Now, my opinion on TikTok for paid ads, completely different. Completely different. I think it's trash. But again, I have the unpopular opinion.
Really? That's unpopular? Because I hate it too. As soon as I see sponsored, I'm like, nope. Like,
right.
It's interesting because I think I'm seeing even like a difference in lack of creativity that needs to get
filtered out,
remedied. Yeah, because now it's like I don't need another person looking at me the same way. Like not interesting enough. You know what I mean? Like my tolerance for just anybody doing something interesting is even down because everything's so copied. But I think the thing that's really crazy, I think it's like I like it for comedy, but it's even more interesting for music. I think just because of the ability for music to just get absolutely jammed into your head and not disappear. That goddamn, the current 2 TikTok trends, like in the silence of the day, walking around, they're in my head and it drives me
I like the way you
bananas.
jiggle.
Yeah,
Or like
exactly. Yeah. Or the Lizzo one. And it's just like, God damn it. But it's also super creative. Like when somebody does it really good, you're like, God, all right. It's just an earworm. But like that, the other one that I really liked was that chocolate Barbie one. That one just makes me happy.
Well, what's funny about them too is like we are cultivating a culture of overstimulation, but with those types of environments, what will happen is it will push you to be better. It'll push creativity to a new height. But the problem is that your attention span is a lot shorter, right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of people don't understand. Let's get down to the data part of it. Like we were talking a lot more about qualitative, right, and not quantitative. And the qualitative is what we like, what we don't like, etc. The quantitative is more so of like on Facebook, every 4 posts is an ad. That's what it is. So you have been conditioned on Facebook to buy, and ads are seamless. So when you see ads on Facebook, you aren't as upset, right? It kind of is what it is. And sometimes you don't even notice. That's why Facebook has been such a powerful tool. And with with TikTok, it wasn't like that. There were no ads.
Right.
And the only ads were like Snapchat where it would take over the screen. And that was fairly recent during COVID.
Yeah.
And now these ads are just like inundated and they're not creative. And the reason why is because you've got a bunch of, great example, Dove. There was a whole case study on Dove. Dove did a ad on TikTok and it was like the bullshit video or, commercial ad where it's just the Dove product in the center and then there's these swirlies coming out of it and it just, maybe some coconuts on the side. It was so commercial.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how fucking lazy can you be, right? Then they did a case study of somebody else, which is called UGC, user-generated content, of a girl who showed her armpit using normal aluminum deodorants and how she had an allergic reaction, and her other armpit was showing Dove, and it's smooth and she's good. Which one are you going to buy from? Duh. So then there's just like, you have to be more creative. And the reason why I say TikTok ads are trash is not because they are actually trash. It's because the people producing them are usually creating trash ads. And I'm on the precipice of how to price TikTok advertising management, because there's the side of it where you have to be really good in your quantitative to be able to scale your clients from 0 to 1 million in 6 months, right? That's the idea. And then in terms of profit or revenue rather. And then there's the other side where we have to be creative geniuses. And how am I going to, number one, make Matt Neal stop and watch the ad, but not get angry for watching the ad and almost get fooled that it was even an ad to begin with.
Yeah.
Versus Facebook, people are fine with ads.
Let me give you my thought on it, because I don't want any ads. I want information. So if you ask a regular person, perfect, here, this is not an ad. I have a Hydro Flask. It's fucking dope. It keeps water cold all fucking day. Like,
That's an ad.
I use it every fucking day. Like, it keeps ice in there all day. And here's a problem. It's dark and I can't see that I'm not drinking enough water because it doesn't look empty. So I'd love a fucking window on the side. Someday they'll get that maybe, but maybe that'd ruin its ability to keep shit cold. I don't care. I love Hydro Flasks. That's the fucking
mad.
truth, right? So, like, I want more of that through other means of, like, if you asked me what I use for to drink, that's how I would answer you. And that should come up just in the flow of the world. And
But
that's
Matt
how
Neal,
I buy shit.
that's your style. So that's the really, I love that you said that because that's your style. That's who you are. So those ads resonate to you. That's why there's never a one ad fits all. I mean, there have been for Super Bowl that are just great. And that's why those people get paid the big bucks, right? Because they can resonate to a huge audience. But people like you are going, I don't want to hear the frou-frou bullshit. I just want to know that it's a Hydro Flask, it keeps my shit cool, and I can count on it. And it doesn't look like shit, right? Or lasts a while. But that is an ad because
they
then
could make them cheaper. That'd be nice. My son lost
Right.
his, and I was like, "Fuck, $55, fuck for water."
Right. So
and I was like,
there are so many. You're right. No, you're 100% right. And there are so many ads that there's something called an us versus them, right? So you have a Hydro Flask versus the Matt Neal flask. Literally everything's the same, but Matt Neal's is cheaper, right? So there's all these different things we can do. There was one us versus them on the blades. I think it was the Dollar Shave Club, and one side was exactly the same as the other, but one was $1 and the other was $7.99, right? But there's a lot of different things we can do. But for example, the older generation tends to like more information because they have been inundated with ads that were piled with information. And so they want to know more. They're also a demographic that wants to do more research. So if you send them to a URL or to a web page that has more information, there you go. The younger generation just wants to click and buy because they've been in the Amazon generation or the era. So for them, they don't give a fuck. If they see something on a video and they're convinced, they just want to go and click and buy.
Yeah.
How do we create a frictionless process in order for people to convert at a higher rate? So every demographic resonates to something different. I resonate to humor and people being clever. Some people need testimonial ads. Some people need UGC, which is going to be user-generated content.
Yeah.
Some people need more
Isn't that
informative.
interesting?
Very, very different.
And you can do that just by maximizing the capability of each platform with that knowledge, kind of, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bigger strategy behind it without giving all the secrets. But are you familiar with the funnel strategy?
Is that where I'm thinking of it like as the opposite of a funnel, which is you take one piece of content and use it for the different platforms. But you're saying like the opposite, like a funnel is all the shit in and a little bit out. So explain.
Yeah, actually, it's a good way of putting it. So what people don't really understand is they go, okay, Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So they think promoted posts. They think, oh, you put a little bit of a dollar amount behind it. Like if you can on your Instagram and your app, you put, oh, maybe I'll put $50 behind it and then I'll target some people. It's a whole other beast that people don't know about. And it's called the Ads Manager. And the Ads Manager on the back end, you get so much more in depth. And there's something called a pixel that we place on people's sites, their websites, where we send people to. And the Facebook pixel basically stores your information from the site. So if Matt Neal looked at my ad on Facebook, went to the website, clicked a few things, it's tracking all of that. And the beautiful part of it is that now I can retarget you. So for example, Matt Neal looks at my ad for the first time, doesn't know about the Phoenix company. That's prospecting. And I can target you because let's just say I'm looking for somebody who's into comedy, who wants help with X, Y, and Z. So I'm building a persona. I can build all the interests because all of that data that Facebook has been storing for so many years of you interacting and liking people and commenting certain things, they've been storing that this whole time.
Yeah.
And now I can target you because I have a persona idea. So you get the ad sent to you. That's prospecting. You've never heard of us before. So then you go to the website, or maybe you clicked on the ad and commented, liked it, whatever. You have engaged. So we call this warm. Basically, you're a warm lead. And let's just say you didn't convert the first time you saw my ad. You didn't purchase. So let's just say I'm going to look. Did he add to cart? Did he do something? Okay, let's just say you added to cart. Now I can create an ad and send it only to the people who added to cart but didn't purchase. Hey, Matt, notice that you added to cart but you didn't actually buy. Let me give you a 25% off coupon. Now you're really going to go buy it. Mm-hmm. Or let me tell you a little bit more about the product. Or let me tell you how notable or it's been featured in XYZ publications. So now you feel better about it. Okay. That's middle of funnel. And then the bottom of funnel are people who have purchased. How do you re-engage them? And how do you upsell them? So now you have lifetime value and it continuously circulates. And that's the beast. And to whole other degrees of millions of dollars in spend a day.
What if you used your powers for good? Like, what if the reason the targeting came out wasn't to get better ads necessarily, but to get people better critical thinkers so we could agree on the truth together as a species?
Well,
You know what I
truth is
mean?
subjective, Matt. So this is how I look at things. So not to go too far in, but the iOS 14.5 update really limited advertisers' capabilities of targeting accurately. The argument is, and this is what I travel to speak on, is the iOS 14.5, and mainly because people don't want to talk about it. It's really tough to talk about because advertisers have made their livings doing it, and there is this weird line of data security and if we've really invaded people's privacy. And this is what I always say to people. You're going to be served ads regardless, right? Now, do you want ads served to you that are appropriate for you, or do you just want ads served to you? You're going to be served ads regardless because you don't own that app.
Yep.
The app is there and you decide to engage on that app. That is you.
Yeah.
Now, what happened is now my capabilities of knowing your interests are blocked. I don't really know which device you're on. I can target it, but I don't really know for sure. A lot of things are blurry, and it makes things really complicated for companies to understand who their customer is. And that doesn't help really anybody, in my opinion, because you would have been able to do that if people walked into your retail stores. POS systems already do that. They store your information. So to me, it just doesn't really make sense.
Like the illusion of
gung-ho about
security.
one versus the other.
It's like the illusion of security, and we're actually getting a shittier deal.
Correct.
Because I like that the ads are targeted. I don't want to see, I definitely don't want, like when you watch regular TV, like if you watch a live event on television, depending what time you watch it, you're like, who is this for? Like, what is going on? Like, I mean, the weird thing is like football, for example, is constant pickup truck after pickup truck all weekend long.
Right.
I forget what the regular is like during golf. There's a lot of like pharma commercials and stuff. It's just like, God, this is terrible, you know? And my son, who grew up, everything streams, but he loves these new Disney shows. There's one called Amphibia and another one called The Owl House. And Disney is literally rolling them out like Saturday morning cartoon. You see the new one Saturday morning, and then you got to wait. And he was pissed. He was like, what? What do you mean? He was like, A, what do you mean I can't watch it again? And B, what do you mean I have to wait to find out what happens? For a week? He was like, what? It worked. It was cool. There was a surge of like energy around it because it was like the new episode premiere, and that's it. So I grew up with that shit, but I see that like that's cool that they do that, but the ads aren't helping anything from the experience of it because you can fast forward through them.
Right. I mean, it's the same concepts, right?
So dumb.
Like, it is so dumb. So with TV, what they do is they have like a generalization. It used to be polls. They'd like walk around and go,
Yeah.
what type of household are you in? And blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. It's the same shit. And
Yeah.
the thing is that we just got smarter. Now, I do understand creating boundaries, and I do think that that's extremely important. So data security is tough. So this is my stance on it, and maybe we can end on that because I could go on it for years, right? My stance on it is this, is instead of whining about it from both sides, which is what everyone's doing. One side is whining about data security. Your data was never secure to begin with if you decided to give out information. And then the other side of it is, oh my gosh, I can't do my job as well. No, it just means be better. So a lot of what I speak to is be better, pivot, and this is how. And you have to actually be a marketer now. Because before, I was a marketer who came in and learned data versus a lot of people in my space, it's mainly male-dominated actually, are data first, creative second, and marketing second. So it's so interesting when you are able to find people who can do both. It changes the game, and now it's weeding out the people who just looked at data, and it's really bringing those other creatives to the forefront. So for me, let's just say I can't target anyone as accurately as I used to. How do I create an ad, just like Super Bowl, that gets everyone interested? Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter your age range. How do I get you interested? It just means you have to create something that is innovative. So for example, I have a client that does ED medication. So for me, I literally, and it's counterintuitive, but I just grabbed a toothpaste bottle and just squirted it in front of a camera, and my eyes went cross, and then I just had ED medication, right? Like, that was it. And it's fucking funny, right? It's clever. It gets to the point. You can fucking read. I can maybe target men. Girls are going to laugh about it. Guys are going to laugh at it. But the women are like, hey, have you seen this? It's always it's psychologically something nobody wants to talk about. But if you can laugh about it, you're okay. So if we know that basis, then we're in a better place. So that's how I would say, to get around this data security issue, be better.
Yeah. Yeah, because the really good creative stuff will rise to the top regardless of platform.
Right.
Just like those songs get stuck in your head. Like, how did that happen? We all agreed that we're going to like this for about a week or two. And then there'll be another
100%.
one. It's so crazy, man. It's so neat. Wow, you're crushing it, dude. You're dangerous because you have
My
all
EDS.
of. No, I mean, you're right. You're coming at it from so many different directions that are just, and some of the data that's data in quotes is like guesswork and bullshit. Like, how do you know how many people read your mailer? Like, you know how many you printed, but you don't know who read it. You can't prove it, unless
Right.
people bring them back to you or whatever. Like, it's just these weird, like, crazy things to see that it's just shifting so fast. Like, everything feels like it's shifting so fast. Not just this stuff, but just, God damn, I don't remember anything ever like this ever,
Well,
or
that's the
reading
thing.
about it.
That's the thing about the internet, that it opened my mind, and I also realized everything is way more accurate. Like, my whole background was traditional marketing, print marketing, all that, right? And billboards and marketing, experiential marketing initiatives. But I couldn't calculate anything and put data behind my efforts to know it produced this much in revenue. It was very soft.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, this is the experience. That wasn't good enough for me. Now I have the data. And what there's this concept of is attribution. So attribution is very interesting. And the idea is that Facebook has this thing back in the day. It was 28-day clicks, 7-day views. So within 28 days of clicking, and if somebody viewed within 7 days and purchased, Facebook gets the credit. But is that really true? So now we have to shake things up in the space where there's things called first-party data attribution, which is what I'm building on the back end, which is basically every single time someone comes onto my website, I own that data now, which I'm allowed to because it's my domain, it's my property. So if people come on there, I know if they clicked. So we should really just fall under click attribution within a long period of time, because there's no way to really measure view attribution.
Right.
I can't actually, metrics wise, qualify a view to an actual purchase unless you clicked. So it's kind of just flipping everything on its head, but there are so many robust ways, and I'm waiting for another Elon Musk, and maybe I'll be that person, but like, how do we make things more accurate so there's no bullshit? And then you just have to make better decisions with your money.
Yeah. Yeah, because the budgets are bananas, and you can not really prove that anything you're doing is working anyway. And then the other thing is like, yeah, I don't know. We don't have to keep talking about this. I find it really fascinating, but I like, what have you been watching? What have you been doing? Tell me about Dubai. Is Dubai cool?
Dubai is really, really cool. And just a little heads up, my system might die.
worries.
But Dubai was really cool. That was an opportunity that came out of nowhere. Like, look, the momentum in which the last 2 years have gone, and you've seen it, Matt, is just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you actually the story that how that happened. I don't think I told you, and you're going to laugh your fucking ass off. I was bored, as always, and this whole thing with iOS 14.5 update hit, and everybody was getting fucked. Like, and people were losing clients left and right. People were losing money left and right. It was bad. It was like, we called it the ad apocalypse. So I went onto Facebook, and there's this forum called Ad Leaks, and I went on there, and I'm not shy. So like I just went on to live on this forum, and I said, hey, like, what are you guys doing? Because I read in the Wall Street Journal that people are testing, A/B testing Android versus Apple, and we can see how much revenue is coming from each. Therefore, we know how much to spend more in and the trajectory in which to do so. And nobody commented, nobody responded to me, except for the head of operations for AdWorld, which is it's the biggest online digital marketing conference in the world. And he messaged me, he's like, hey, would you like to speak? And I'm like, what the fuck? Sure.
Yeah.
Did it. Don't know how. I really cared a lot about the presentation. I think new blood always brings something different. And it ended up being the number 2 for the entire weekend. So I was kind of like the wild card. And they're like, hey, would you want to go to Dubai? And do you want to present there? Again, another wild card. And then from there, they're like, hey, do you want to go again and be the headliner? And I'm like, the fuck? So it's like kind of crazy. So I didn't get to experience Dubai for Dubai. I got to experience it actually I did. Let's just say this, Matt, when you've got a bunch of affiliate marketers who make millions a year.
Yeah.
It's
They
a
spend
different
some
world.
cash. Yeah.
It's just stupid. It's not my way of life. I'm very like, give me a couch. But it is cool to experience.
Yeah.
So
That's rad.
so fucking crazy.
I love it, man. I love it. It's so fun. I'm so happy for you. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so psyched for whatever you do next, man.
Whatever's to come is whatever's to come. But you got to keep the good people with you. And you're one of those people. I just want to like keep in contact with the people that I know are incredible. Through and through. And for me too is like, I said this to my boyfriend, and I say this to my friends too. You know, I was literally so broke, Matt, when you met me. I was so broke because I was in a relationship where I was supporting that person back in the past and drained my entire savings dry. I had no money. I was living at my parents' house. I was rebuilding my life.
Yeah.
I was living at my parents' house until literally the week before I left Five Threads, but no one knew that. And I was driving a beat up car because I had gotten my car crashed into. There was all this stuff, right? And I was unemployed. And then I got all these opportunities and just took them and decided to run with them. With that, you know, what is there to lose?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was telling my friends, because, you know, we're all in different phases of our lives. I have friends that are extremely successful. I have friends that are not yet. And we're all planting our seeds, and we're all watering each other's plants and seeds. But just because one decides to blossom at one point and yours isn't, doesn't mean the roots aren't doing some serious work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been really interesting, this whole journey. So I don't know. I could be broke tomorrow.
It's insane. It's all chaos, and just the synchronicities start to line up, and you just gotta go. And yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting, isn't it?
It's too interesting.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you so much for chatting. I can, it's always good to chat. We should do it more, for sure. Not this, we'll see how the pandemic goes. Might be able to get in person with people here more often and not feel crazy about it. But let's hang out again soon, and good luck. Good luck with whatever's next, man.
Well, thanks for having me on here. I'm always happy to, and I would love to see you in real life. Remember that?
It'd be something.
Good times.